is Adam and the Analog, episode 62, Back to School. It's that time of the year, people. We're talking about educational games or games that can be used in schools. Hello and welcome to Adam and the Analog, episode 62. I almost said 52, Harrison.
Yeah.
The only podcast where you travel back in time 10 episodes before recording.
This is true. I am 10 episodes younger right now.
Oh, you're looking 10 episodes younger, if I do say so.
Oh, thanks.
Did you get a haircut?
Yep, sure did. Sure did. Shaved my own head again. It's great. Good times. Great podcast conversation.
Yeah, can you guys just picture Harrison's beautifully shiny and perfectly rounded head right now as you're driving?
Yep, with less hair.
Yeah, with even less hair.
Yep, there you go. Got it.
Well, hey, it's almost time to go back to school, and don't I know
it?
And by that, it's like a month away, but it's coming up. And in the last 3 weeks or so, Target's had the back to school crap out already, just taunting you. So I think we're going to talk about back to school stuff today, back to school games, I should say, because that's what we do on this podcast.
Okay.
How does that sound?
I didn't want to go buy some more 3-ring binders and college rule notebooks.
Let's talk about number 2 pencils and college rule notebooks. Good. But first of all, what have you been playing, Harrison? And it doesn't have to do with school. It could be anything. What have you been playing?
Well, I think I have to come back real quick and just, I'm not going to talk about Vantage for 20 minutes again, but I did get to try it again, and I did try it solo.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed myself.
Okay, good.
It made me think that the sweet spot is 2 players, because there was some weirdness with like having to pull my own cards and keeping my finger in the correct passage, because the storybooks are really small print and there's a lot on a page. So there was a little bit of fiddliness with that, but once I got over that, it was really cool. And I think I enjoyed it more just because I got to do stuff more often. With 4 players, it was like you do one thing and then maybe that thing did something, maybe it didn't, maybe it was just kind of a dud turn. But in playing solo, I just got to do the whole thing by myself and kind of push as far as I want, really explore some things. And I got to I had some really cool aha moments in that of like, oh, so this is even possible. Oh my God. Yeah. So I'm obviously not going to say anything more than that, but
no spoilers.
Way better solo. Still have to try a 2-player, but yeah, good. Really enjoyed it at solo. It took me 2 hours to play a full game, but I got the full epic victory, which is both your mission and your destiny. So I probably could have ended it a little sooner.
Cool. Is it as engaging when you're all alone? You're just kind of reading the passages out of the book yourself, I'd imagine then, right?
Yes, but I found it engaging just because my turns happened more often. So
yeah, okay.
There was more of me to go on and not just sit there and wonder about what I might do the next turn.
Yeah, nice.
And then I also want to call out that we finally finished our Aeon's End Legacy campaign with our neighbors. Finally,
wow!
We did the they do the tried and true secret final boss underneath the insert of the box, which I accidentally discovered after the second session. It's not really. At the end of the last mission in the box, they haven't addressed the giant thing that they've been not so subtly alluding to the entire time. And then you finish that and it says, oh, but something is happening, so when you're ready for the next game, lift the insert. Oh
yeah.
It was done in the least exciting way possible. Played plenty of other games that did it better.
Not that I would condone playing Cards Against Humanity, but they did a thing where in one of their boxes you actually had to cut part of the top of the box lid to get a card out of it. Do you remember that?
Yep. Yeah. I still have that box in my no, I got rid of it finally. I think I sold it to Noble Knight. I refused to sell it for a long time because I didn't want to put that back out into the world for people. But then Noble Knight gave me good money for it, so I was like, I can sell my soul.
Well, good for you, Harrison. You had morals for a while.
Yeah. But then the Aeon's End Legacy, the final game, the final big bad had the most health possible on that dial, and we absolutely crushed it. We just felt super powerful, which was a cool feeling.
Nice.
For the finale. So And then Legacy, they I guess they have another one now that looks like it's much better production value. So I got this one for like $20, on the secondary market, and that's about as most as I would pay for it. But it was still cool to get to have done it.
So
Yeah. What have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot, but I just want to talk about one game today because we had a grand old time playing the gang the other day at a cookout.
Oh
And this
yeah.
game never fails. It never goes down bad. And even if you're playing with people that are just completely oblivious to poker, they always have a good time playing it. It's always a good experience, even for those that are familiar with poker, having to kind of help them along.
Coach them through the hands.
Yeah, right. We played a 5 and a 6-player game. We played 2 6-player games, and we
Okay.
lost all of them, and it was a great experience. I don't think we've won a 6-player game yet of the gang.
Okay.
Have you played at that player count?
No, I haven't. No.
It considerably changes the experience. It is way harder, but it is
Okay.
harder in the sense that it's like you're just so close, like every time you get like 1 or 2 hands out of order and you it could have gone either way based on the clues that were on the table. So there's
Mhm.
definitely some luck involved, and yeah, it's poker. But with the gang, where of course you're trying to, kind of rank the hands that everyone has in a Texas Hold'em cooperative game, in
Right.
order of their how good they are. With the more players, the more that there's subtle differences between those hands, and it's harder to interpret the information you have to work with. So
Yeah.
anyways, lots of fun, lots of cool things happened, and we were like one away at the end, and we were all high fiving, and then we revealed one hand that was out of order, and it just deflated us. but it was a fun time.
Well, sounds like you need that new mini expansion that they're releasing at Gen Con that gives you some extra vault slots, so extra wiggle room, right?
Yeah, that okay. So how does that work? Is it easier to fail or easier to win then?
No idea.
Extra.
The BGG page for it is the front of the rules card that says the contents and a rough overview of what it is.
Oh,
And
okay.
does not. Yeah, it says the rules are on the reverse of this card. Okay, yeah, I believe
Because
you.
having to get more successes would be a lot harder in that game, and that is appropriate when you're playing with like 3 players, where it's just a total breeze.
Mhm.
So I think that's probably good to have something like that that can adjust the difficulty level.
Yeah, agreed.
Cool. All right, so that's the game. All right, we're moving on to our feature topic: games for the classroom. Harrison, I don't have a first player rule this week, so I'm just going to ask you, what's your favorite school supply?
Uh, no, Corey, what was your high school GPA?
Overall,
Yeah, do you remember it?
it was like a 3.8. I was a
Okay,
pretty good student.
I don't remember if it was a 4 or 4.7 for me because I don't remember what rank
What?
my school and ultimately and yeah, straight A pluses.
What country do you live in?
Except yeah, it was like 4.0 with straight A's, but if you did A pluses, it like weighted up to like a 4.5 or something. I don't know. It was above a
Oh,
4.0, so
oh,
I got
some
you beat
places
there.
do weighted GPA where you can get extra credits for AP
Yeah,
classes, but yeah, we didn't have
yeah,
that.
yeah, might have
Four,
been that too.
it's topped
Yeah.
out at 4 around here.
So got you on that one. Haha, so smart.
All right, you win. You can go first.
All right. Well, the first game that I want to talk about is one that I've talked about plenty of times, and I looked up, and I think it's been at least 10 episodes since I've talked about it. So I'm going to talk about it again. What better game to bring to school than one that makes you do a ton of arithmetic, and that is Panda Royale from Last Night Games. It came out last year, and I've talked about this one plenty. But if you haven't heard me talk about this one, it is just a dice chucker. The Panda and the Royale part of it doesn't really make that much of an impact on the theme, but basically everyone gets a die, you roll it, you write down the total of the numbers, and then you get another die, and then you do that again 10 times until at the end of the game you're rolling a big handful of 10 dice. And all the dice have different colors and different powers. So the blue ones double if you have a glittery blue one, and the red ones have some crazy positive, negative, push your luck element to them, and the green ones are just D20s, so they can score really high. Uh, it's a ton of fun, just a bunch of dice in a box and score sheets, but you feel real powerful when you get good at that quick arithmetic. And I mean, yeah, you do math in school, right? So
Yeah,
obviously, uh, and the box is unassuming artwork. Like if I brought this into school, I wouldn't feel weird about it because it's just cute little pandas on it.
you don't have to feel weird about it anyway. You just own it, Harrison.
Nah,
Yeah,
yes,
we're
yeah.
playing Pokemon today.
I would own it now. I did not own it in high school.
Yeah, that's fair. It was different.
I was that kid.
You could play this with younger students, couldn't you? It's pretty rules light.
It's rules light, but it's arithmetic heavy. You're like adding numbers in the hundreds. So I don't know which grade that becomes a struggle at. But yeah,
Well,
kids these days got
whichever.
phones, so they could just use calculators, right?
Yeah, right. Nice. All right, cool. Good pick.
So that is Panda Royale from Last Night Games.
I'm coming from the perspective of being a teacher, and at the start of the school year, it's good to do like team builders and icebreakers. I'm one that likes to do those things, and I know personally, I'm a person that doesn't like to be subjected to those things. But as a teacher, I like to subject my students to those things. Um, but it is good to kind of like develop some rapport with other students, even if you don't know it's happening. I think you can perform better when you feel like more at home in the classroom, and you get to have a relationship with the students around you that you can call on them for with questions and stuff. Anyways, the point is, those things are important, and a board game is a great way to develop those things. And I like this one, I've only played this board game one time ever because we play this sort of bastardized version of it in the classroom that is just kind of the same rules, but not officially the game. And that is Monikers, which is it's a card based game, but it's really just
Mhm.
a social game. Have you played Monikers?
I have
Okay, yeah, this is cool.
at a
And
wedding.
oh, really? Okay, so see,
Yeah,
it's perfect icebreaker. Yeah.
yeah.
This is a really fun concept. It's very, very straightforward. It's basically like 3 rounds of word guessing. But the way this is done is players all submit different words or different concepts to the pool of words that becomes what everyone has to guess in each round. So for the first round, a player draws a card out of that pool, and they can say anything except for the word itself, right?
Mhm.
After that, right, you go on the second round, it's the same pool of cards. You only get to say a one word clue. And in some cases, you develop these kind of inside jokes because you're referencing the same pool. And you can be like, oh, shoot, that's the one that we just talked about. Right.
Yeah.
In the final round, you can say nothing at all. It's purely charades. And so it becomes more and more abstract the clues you can give, but then the repeat references to those cards makes it more familiar, and sometimes people are just jump into to guess when they see you just move even an inch sometimes.
Yep.
So we do this in the classroom where we have a fishbowl and all the kids submit like a little post-it note with a couple of terms or words on there. It doesn't even have to do with the lesson at the time. It can just be a complete break from reality. And someone comes up to the front of the room and tries to get their half of the classroom to guess the word. So it's lots of fun.
Have you
Monikers.
seen the Shut Up and Sit Down like hidden fourth round that's absolutely unhinged?
No.
You play
What's going on
you
there?
play a fourth round, and the clue giver you have to kneel behind a couch or a table or something so just your head is visible, and then you have to do charades with just your face.
That's
That's it.
awesome.
Yep, yeah.
Oh my god.
So I have tried that version, and it is very funny.
That is did it work?
Yes, yeah, of course. It was great.
In music school, one of the conducting tricks in conducting class is to, well, in my class, we would wear a paper bag with the eye holes cut out of it, and my professor had us going around to the practice rooms, knocking on the door, and conducting the person in the practice room singing "Happy Birthday" using just our eyes,
Wow.
and that was uncomfortable.
Yes, all right.
So, anyways, there you go, monikers.
All right. I thought about the idea of like, yeah, icebreakers games for the classroom, and then I don't spend nearly as much time in schools as you do. So I was like, well, what do you do at school? You do learning, and then also my school had a library, so a library game is good, right? Um,
Uh,
but then this game also showed up on the Mensa Select Awards for 2017, so I was like, okay, this probably means it's a smart game, right? Mensa does their own like board game competition game of the year thing. And in 2017, one of the finalists was Ex Libris from Renegade Games. So this is a game about filling out a library with fantastical and fictional books by using your your librarian workers and special powers because you've got like a gelatinous cube librarian and a mummy librarian and a wizard
Huh.
librarian. Um, and it's a worker placement game ultimately that in the original version in 2017 had some pretty horrendous graphic design, just very tiny text all the way across the table that was hard to
Mhm.
read. But the cool part was the giant stack of unique cards with books on them and made up titles. And the titles of some of these books were just excellent. That was like the main reason I kept the game for so long. It did get a reprint in 2023, a second edition that looks to have addressed a lot of the issues with the first one. Not all of them. The text is still kind of small, but I think overall it's better received. But yeah, that's like school and learning themed because it's a library and wizards and stuff. So yeah,
Books.
you've played this one, right?
No, I've never played
You
it. I've
haven't?
never even
Oh,
looked at it.
it's a weird one for sure,
Yeah.
but it's super cool. The original edition had unique meeples for all of the like special workers you could get. You would get normally two workers that are just plain, and then one with a power that represents like the fantastical creatures I said. And they were
Hmm.
all wooden except for the gelatinous cube librarian, which was just like a see-through plastic cube. It was great.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at that right now. That's
Yeah.
awesome. There's
Yep.
like 12 different shapes and colors of yetis and wizards and ghosts, snakes. Fun.
Yeah. Still a super cool theme. And yeah, definitely worth checking out. That is Ex Libris from Renegade.
I see what you're talking about with the small text on these cards. That is rough. It's really the font I think that makes it even harder.
Yeah, they went for like kind of a stylized thing on there, and then it's white on black from across the table. Like I'm all for dark mode on screens, but it doesn't work very well in print.
Okay, my second pick is the game I have played the most, hands down, with students and with school groups, and that for various reasons. That is Just One. And Just One is yet again a great icebreaker for a group that needs just kind of a simple and concrete task to perform together. It is like low risk in the sense that anything you're doing is, it's like a concrete thing. You're not asking anything personal about yourself, but you're sharing an idea that you have. And I should talk about what the game is because I can explain it in almost. I think Harrison, do you think I could do this in just one word? Can I describe this game in just one word?
Yeah, I think you can do it.
Okay. Let's see. Let me think about this. Guess. So I got
Okay,
guess.
fine. Yeah,
Does
that
that work?
fine. I was getting ready to prematurely buzz you, just like, but no, that's pretty good.
So there's a central guesser that has a word facing out towards all the other players, and the other players are trying to give a one-word clue for that person to guess the word. It's cooperative. And if any clues are repeated, they are turned face down before the guesser can even see them. So you're trying to give a clue that is effective but not too obvious. So there you go. So you can see why it's a nice, easy game to get into. But here's where I really like it. I teach music theory, which is kind of like a concept or sort of a fact-based class where this doesn't work so well in band, but in music theory, I use this as a review game for my quizzes. So check this out. We've got timbre. It's projected on the screen in the front of the room, and the guesser has to be seated away from it. All of the other players write their one-word clue on a post-it note and show it to each other. It says uniqueness, tone, color, uniqueness. Oh, shoot, there's a repeat. Put that down. All right, they've got tone and color. Can they get it? Timbre? I certainly hope so. But anyways,
Yeah,
this is a way to review concepts on like the first couple chapters of our book when we are doing a lot of kind of definition based learning.
yeah, that's super cool. I think I would have really enjoyed having that as a tool or something to do in class to review. That's
Mm.
smart.
Well, thank you, Harrison.
Yeah.
All right, and that is just one.
Doing good teaching. Man, I still
Oh,
think back to the day when we went to go see a comedy show and we played a giant game of Just One with like 10 people in a hotel lobby. We
yeah.
were probably obnoxious because we were just waiting for the show to start, but that was a lot of fun. You, me, and John and Sam and all the folks here in Madison. It
Yeah. This game is
was a good
so easy
time.
to get into. It's like you can, like I said, you can describe in just one word, so you're playing in 3 minutes.
Yep. So my first pick was about arithmetic. My second pick was kind of about reading, and then I think my third pick is about history. And uh, by history, I mean Her Story, because my pick is Her Story from Underdog Games in 2022. This is a very light tile drafting and card collecting, like tableau building game ish, that features a gigantic stack of cards, like of portraits of famous women from history. And the gameplay is very simple. On your turn, you're just gonna pick a tile that has various resources on it and add it to your collection, and then you can spend those tiles to recruit or write about the characters, the women on the cards, and put them into your score pile, your book that you're writing. Uh, Very simple, just gameplay loop to it, but it is an absolutely gorgeous production. These cards are tarot sized, have really nice detailed portraits on them, and then they have facts on the back as well, of different important women from history.
Nice.
My biggest complaint about the game is that a turn is literally, or most of the time, just draw a tile, and then so someone's got to be sitting there refilling tiles from the bag like constantly.
Oh, yeah.
So it can be a little fiddly, but for how light the game is and how easy it is to get into, and the excellent subject matter, I think this is a no-brainer to pick up, especially when I found a copy at my game store for $10, which was super cool. I know I talked about that pretty recently, but this felt appropriate for back to school and a learning themed game episode.
It's awesome. I think this does a good job of representing games that have kind of knowledge and education sort of packed into the game, in
Mhm.
the same sense that I was thinking of adding like Wingspan to this one because there's so many little factoids and all this research that went into it, which I think is really cool. Or
Yeah, yeah.
Watergate in the same sense, you know. So giving context for the theme that's being used and giving a little background knowledge is really cool. PAX Premiere is another one.
Yeah, I think that there's this growing uh, desire for games in the game space and the hobby game space that are not learning games, but games with well researched theme, right?
Yeah.
So it's not one of those like let's play inside of the cell to learn more about the structure of a cell and science things, but more of a Wingspan. That's a very good example of a game that is a game could have another theme, but then you've got this additional layer of information that's available for you to kind of like latch onto. Um,
Mm.
I think it's like a learning game done well,
Yeah, nice.
educational
Speaking
game.
of, there is a game called Cytosis, though. I didn't even think of that one. I don't think I've ever played the Cytosis, but
Yeah, I haven't either.
they've covered that.
Yep. That's the one I was thinking of when I mentioned it. So,
Okay.
but my pick is Her Story from 2022 by Underdog Games. And if you're looking for that, it is one word, Her Story.
Well, I think all games are educational in their own ways. I've covered a lot of different bases as far as using them as a tool for review, using them as an icebreaker, and this one is just my pick for the simulation game. And I've talked about QE an awful lot. It's called QE, stands for quantitative easing, which is basically it's an economic simulation. And that sounds really bland, but when you play the game, it's actually kind of hilarious and sort of just a really unique concept. I'm kind of fascinated by this, which is why it comes up a lot. And I'm just going to read the description here off of the page because I think it does a good job. It is financial crisis has occurred. 16 too big to fail companies from 4 countries need bailing out. The central banks have unlimited financial resources, so lots of money is going to be printed. But the central banks also face disaster. Print too much money, and the country they represent goes bust. This is like a set collection type of auction game where you are bidding any amount of money you want. But as that description just mentioned, printing the most money is going to cause you to bust and lose the game. Really, once again, another easy one to learn, which is kind of a nice hitch for school because you don't always have time to teach the group how to play Galactic Cruise. While that might be good for the lesson, this one really gets the class into it in like a 5 or 10 minute explanation.
I still have not played this one. It gets talked about constantly. I feel like a goof for not having played it, but here I
Wow.
am admitting it. I'm putting it on record out into the internet. I have not played QE as of the end of July 2025. So
Mm.
someone please fix me.
Yeah, well, we've had it on the list, and I know it's come up when we get together, but it's
Yeah.
hard to play at 4. I think you really need 5 players for this one.
Okay, that's good to know.
So that is QE, quantitative easing. All right, should we recap our list?
Yeah, do the list.
I picked Monikers, Just One, and QE, and Harrison picked Panda Royale, Ex Libris, and Herstory.
There we go.
Herstory? How do you pronounce that?
Her story.
Herstory, but it's like
Yeah,
Herstory, history.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's her story.
Okay, nice.
I think probably. I'm saying that too confidently for not actually knowing.
All right. Well, that takes us to the end here. Harrison, aside from board games, what have you been doing with your life?
I have been playing a ton of God of War Ragnarok on PS5. Finally. I haven't talked to you about this yet on the show, right?
I didn't even know this was a game, but I do like God of War.
Okay. Yeah. So God of War in 2018 was, they took this edgy, violent god from the Greek mythology that they made, 3 games and some mobile spin-offs or whatever.
Kratos.
And they Kratos, that's right, Kratos. They made him a sad dad in Norway, in Scandinavia, and gave him a kid. And the 2018 God of War was a fantastic game. That's like one of the very few games that I've platinum trophied on PlayStation. Got all the achievements. Loved the end game content. Loved the fighting the very dumb, tough Valkyrie bosses that are at the end. And Lauren is like, "Why are you playing that? You've been sitting here for 2 hours just dying to the same boss." I'm like, "I know, I'm so close. This is great." So when God of War Ragnarok came out, I was super excited. I was like, "Oh man, I can't wait to play that." Lauren and I got a PS5. It came with it, and then it took me 2 years to finally start playing it. I just, yeah, but it was worth the wait. It was great. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting close to the end game, I think, and I'm starting to run up against like those optional end game bosses, and it's just back to that sweet spot of doing big scary fights, getting cool stuff. Yeah, lots of fun.
Do you have blades on chain whips?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yes.
I've only played the PS2 or PS3. Got it, like the original one.
Yeah.
And that was one of those games where I'm like, I'm not really like an action kind of game guy, but I played it and it was just like 5 minutes of it. It just feels really good. There's something about just like swinging those things around and cutting everybody up with them.
Yeah. The God of War 2018, you don't have those. You have an axe, like this big ice axe, and I think it's called Leviathan axe. And then spoilers, like 2/3 through the game, you get the whip blades back, the chain blades back.
Okay.
And then God of War Ragnarok, you start with them. So
damn, Harrison, you're talking about Aeon's End secret cards and chain whips in one
episode?
episode?
I know. We're gonna get a bad rep for like just the spoiler cast. So
hey, what happens at the end of Gloomhaven?
Everyone dies. I assume. I don't know. I haven't finished it. I haven't played it.
I
know. If you ask me what happened at the end of Jaws of the Lion, I got no idea. I don't remember. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Cool. Good stuff. Break. All right. Well, thanks for listening all the way to the end. We appreciate you. And if you've made it this far, then I think you're invested enough to give a thumbs up, a star, a review, something on your podcast player of choice. It would be much appreciated.
I don't know, Corey. That's asking a lot. That's pretty difficult.
Are we allowed to offer bribes?
No. No, we're not.
Well, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Adam and the Analog is Corey Murphy and Harrison Dunn. Original themes and bumper music by Corey Murphy. Reach us at adamandtheanalog@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.